Hello, Emily Jean here, and we're back for another book tag, which means we answer a bunch of questions about books and or reading. Today we're going to do the reader's problems tag. So if you want to hang out, hear the questions, find out my answers, answer along for yourself or in the comments, I'd love to hear it, then grab your coffee, grab your tea, and let's get cozy. So, reader's problem tag. I'll put in the description link below who I saw do this the most recently, and if I can find it, the original poster of this tag. So we're going to answer some problems that readers have. Okay, so first problem. You have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? Good question. If you don't know what TBR is, it's to be read. So your list of to be reads, if you're like me, keeps growing and growing and growing. Especially the more YouTubers you watch. G from Book Roast just did like a huge book haul, and I added probably 10 more books to my TBR. So how the heck do you choose what to read? One tip: bookish subscription boxes. It's been huge for me. It's not for everybody because you don't get to choose what you read, but for me it's helped me really get back into reading because it takes the choice out of it. So all of these books that I've read so far this year, except for Nameless, came from BookBox. All these books I've read so far, 4 books. That's good for me. So these came from subscription boxes. So I get the books and then I set a goal to read them before the next box comes. So it's kind of helped me. And then I think what I'll do planning wise is, as I pick out my TBRs for future months, is just really dig into my list and also removing things from my TBR so that the list does get smaller, because sometimes I put something on and it's not really a good match anymore, or for whatever reason I'm just not drawn to read it anymore. So I do go and clean out my TBR and Goodreads every now and then. But I guess I decide by a little bit by mood, and then also what's coming in the subscription boxes. Okay. Second question. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? Oh, this is tough. For most of my reading life, I forced myself to read it until the end. I've started doing that a little bit less. I'm more likely to just stop reading something if I'm really not feeling it, because there's so many incredible books out there. There's so many books, so little time. But I have to really not be liking it, not liking the characters, not liking the atmosphere. It's painful to go through. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just put it down and then go pick up another book and maybe come back to it a month or two later. As far as actually DNFing a book, not finishing it, that happens pretty rarely, but I'm less hesitant to do it now. Is that a good answer? I don't know. I don't force myself to finish books anymore. Okay, third question. The end of the year is coming and you're so close, but so far away on your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? I've definitely not hit my Goodreads challenge. Last year I wasn't even close, but I had a toddler. It was his year 1 to 2, so it was super busy. But the 2 years before that, at the end of the year, I definitely power read. I read a bunch of short books to try to get to the goal that I had set for myself. So yes, I try to catch up unless I'm super far away and I'm just kind of yeah, we didn't make it. This year I'm feeling pretty good, especially having this channel. It's been motivating for me. I'm feeling pretty good about being able to hit that goal. But if it does come to the end of the year, I won't be afraid to put in some extra hours to try to catch up. Okay, question 4. The covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? This is interesting because I used to keep so many books, and I've recently shifted to not owning as many books, getting more from the library. So I'm not too worried about the covers not matching. It never really bothered me unless like I'm really drawn to the specific artwork and I prefer the artwork of it. Then I would like to have matching covers, but no. No, actually, take that all back. I'm not that particular about the covers matching. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with? Well, I guess I would post it in Goodreads, see if anybody else agrees. I've just recently got into like bonding with people over books, as weird as that sounds. Booktube's been helping with that, like finding other creators. So I guess I'd bond with maybe somebody else who posted a video about it or a similar review and kind of say, yes, I totally thought that too in the comments. Probably where I'd go. You're reading a book and you are about to start crying in public. How do you deal? I don't really cry reading books a lot. I think it's amazing. Not amazing, I don't want anybody to be crying, but I'm always impressed when others kind of get to that point in their reading. But let's say I was on the verge of tears, I'd probably let it out. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me anymore. It would have used to, but just let it out. Just let it out, it's okay. Question 7. A sequel of a book you love just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Oh my gosh. My comprehension's pretty high. I can read a lot, understand a lot, but my retention is so low. Okay, Name of the Wind, one of my most favorite books ever. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I mean, it was like years ago that I read it now. But my retention is low. Like, I devour a book, I love it, I'm in it in that moment, and then it's like, poof, gone. So if a sequel came out and I've forgotten a lot from the prior novel, will I reread it? It depends on the series. If Name of the Wind, another one, does come out, I would definitely reread it. Patricia Briggs is another of my favorite authors. For the Mercy Briggs series, I won't reread them, even though I can't remember a lot. I know the world, I know the characters. If I feel like I remember enough of it, then I won't reread it. If it's been like years in between, then I'll probably reread it. Okay, question 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? Well, I don't mind if people borrow my books, so if I didn't want somebody borrowing my books, I'd say, sorry. What would I say? Oh, I'm super particular about this book. You can't borrow it, but I'd be happy to find a copy for you at the library, or if there was somebody I was really close to, maybe buy them a copy to gift them. Okay, number 9, reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? If I do get into a reading slump, like reading something, a short read, a quick read, that's kind of in a genre that I know that I'm going to love and I'm obsessed with, or like I mentioned the Mercy Thompson series by Patricia Briggs, like if I know there's a new book coming out in one of my favorite series, I'll usually use that to get back into reading. If you have one book that you just like speed through, you're hooked again, right? So I try to find those shorter books, particularly in worlds that I'm already invested in. That helps me get out of a reading slump. Excuse me. Question number 10. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? Well, I've stopped buying as many books, the exception being subscription boxes. I've just gone to the library a lot more. So we do have a pretty massive interlibrary loan system. So when new books come out, you may have to wait a little bit, but you're usually pretty likely to be able to find a copy at least one of the libraries in Maine. So that's good news. But I have put in my fair share of book requests to the library too, like, hey, you guys don't have this, could you get it? And usually they're pretty responsive, which is amazing. So huge proponent of the library. I don't buy too many actual books unless it's something that's definitely not at the library. 2 of my TBRs for this month are books that Facebook friends have wrote, so I don't think they're at the libraries. I got them off of Amazon, so then I would buy those. Okay. And question number 11. After you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? Okay, so if it was a new book that I got, I would read it immediately. Like, there's no waiting. When I was little and the newest Harry Potter book would come out, or younger, I wouldn't wait. I'd go to the bookstore, get it on the day that it came out, and read all night long until I read through the book. There was no waiting. So, I think now maybe it would be hard to even finish the one I'm currently reading if it was something I'm super excited about. I just want to get into that world and read it. Okay, I think that's the last one. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your answers. I have to, well, I don't have to, but I'm going to tag a few people. I didn't even think about who I'm going to tag first. Okay. I'm going to tag you, viewer. Let me know if you see this, if you're a booktuber and you want to do this. I tag you, tag your it to do the reader's problem tag. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out today. Like, subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys. Hello, Emily Jean here. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. Oh, I gotta get this intro together. What's it gonna be? Do we even need one? Nobody knows.